Welcome to Crypto Tutors. We are humanizing cryptocurrency and blockchain and are bringing the best trailblazers and success stories like Isaiah Jackson, Tanya Evans, Ian Bellina, Cleve Messidor, and Tinashe Nitaganga on the Crypto Couch. Click subscribe and the bell to be the first to watch the latest interviews every single week.
This episode is sponsored by Cash App.
Hey,
It's a way. Making money in my sleep? Making money in my sleep.
Yeah, I'm really excited about today's episode because in the house on the Crypto Couch, we have NajahRoberts. She is an ultimate trailblazer. Not only have to read this out loud, she has so many accomplishments, the Chief Visionary Officer of the Crypto Blockchain Plug. She also holds the Crypto Kids Camp, teaching kids about cryptocurrency. And she's also the co-founder of the Black Wallstreet app and company. We're so excited to get to know her, hear about her crypto journey. Welcome, Najah, to the Crypto Couch.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Miss Nina.
I was so excited to meet you in Miami because you're a legend. You're a part of so many different social media groups. Tell everybody which social media handle you would love for people to contact you to learn more about you.
You can learn more about me on all of my social media. Or I should say 99% of my social media is at NajahRoberts. And that's just my first and last name. But I have one that I've been holding on to, which is Roberts Najah. But either way, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, all of those things. And we're always trying to give out great information to the community.
And I love that you're also active on LinkedIn. I personally am active on LinkedIn because we got to educate everybody on all social media platforms. Yeah. And you have a lot of great content on there as well. So I was really inspired by you, Najah. What blew me away about you is your motivation. Really, you really have a way of capturing the audience. Really, it was so inspiring to hear these statistics, your information that you had to inspire women in diverse communities. So before we go ahead and get into that, I would love to learn more about you. Where are you from? And can you please talk to us about how your crypto journey started?
Well, I was born and raised right here in Los Angeles, California, my entire life. But one of the crucial things that happened to me growing up is at age 5, I was one of the first children that was actually bused into what we call the San Fernando Valley. About 40 minutes. I said 40 minutes. It's about 40 minutes from home with no traffic, but it actually was about 25 miles from home to start kindergarten. And us being bused into another neighborhood was their attempt to give us a better education out of the inner city. And so my mother being a teacher at LA Unified School District, she thought the opportunity was great, which it was. So I got a great sense of education, but I also got a great sense of money and how things were so different from one community to the next. So I have to say that since a young child, I've always been inquisitive as to why my parents have the same jobs as people in other neighborhoods, but we just didn't live the same. And we didn't have all the same opportunities afforded to us. And so that sent me on a quest for a very long time to really love and understand money and try to figure out what I could do to affect change in my community.
That's amazing. So how did you then, from this inspiration of this financial wealth knowledge that you were starting to acquire and starting to sort of observe to get into crypto?
So, oh man, I'm happy to say that last Sunday, we're doing this interview, but last Sunday marked my 25th anniversary of being an entrepreneur. So
congratulations.
yes, thank you. You know, we do like everybody tells us to do. We go to school so we can get a good job, right? And so for my entire family, they were like, "Oh my God, you got a good job. You're out of college. You're working for the state of California." Well, it was the most horrific job ever. For anybody that goes into the Department of Motor Vehicles, you know it is not a pleasant experience, and that was not my personality. So I very quickly found out that the DMV in the state of California was not for me, not just because of the job, but also because of the pay. We got paid once a month, and I was always broke. And 25 years ago, last Sunday, was my daughter's baby shower. She was in my belly. And I made a decision at my baby shower that I would be taking my gifts and never returning back to the state of California. So, as an entrepreneur, of course, I've always been looking and trying to work for money, as we do as entrepreneurs, and got involved in financial services, the 401ks, annuities, all those things that products that are being sold to the general public. But as I started to really look at those programs, I started to really realize that there was no way I could do what I had set out to do, and that was to help our community by closing the wealth gap. And so I just really started asking the Most High, like, what is it that you would have for me to do? Because this is not going to work out no matter how we try to change it or move it around. At the end of the day, it all still winds up in a centralized location, which is, within this systemic system that has held us back. And so I got introduced to cryptocurrency. And I don't know how deep you want me to go into that, but that is how this crypto thing started. I walked away from financial services. I call it old money, wearing my suits and heels every single day, to now wearing my Chuck Taylors and my t-shirts every day. And I'm enjoying educating on new money.
And what year was it that you got into cryptocurrency?
So I was introduced to Bitcoin in 2012. Somebody came through, and I don't say somebody, but a very good friend of ours came through, and he had a mining machine that he was going to mine Bitcoin at home. He asked us if we wanted to be involved with it. He and another very good friend of ours, um, they all started mining. And my husband and I were in traditional finances, and we just thought that is going to go nowhere. So we're not going to get involved. And so now I kick myself every day. I actually have the mining machine that I should have bought in my lobby to just remind me to never miss another opportunity. But that was my first introduction. So one time, then the second time, somebody was selling some Bitcoin, and I decided just to buy some, but I didn't know anything about the space. We bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin and we put it on Mount Gox. And as you know, Mount Gox went away, and so did our coin, right? So that was the worst taste of Bitcoin in my mouth, because then I really thought it was a scam, didn't want to be bothered with it. But then, fast forward 2017, I had some little children that God has having me take care of, and I wanted to teach them how to be entrepreneurs. And I got involved with a course, and that course was having something for the parents that weekend to help them understand Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I started on a Friday learning about cryptocurrency, and by Monday morning, I woke up and I told my husband that I was not returning to the traditional financial services company that we both were working and owned. And I went down a rabbit hole, and I just started studying and studying. I decided to take our regular financial services office, renovate it, and turn it into a crypto space. And that is exactly what I did.
Wow, that is crazy. And so was he supportive of that idea? Like, what happened?
Initially he was not. I don't want to say not necessarily a believer, but 2017 was around the time where Bitcoin hit 20,000.
Right.
And that friend of ours who was mining, those friends of ours that were mining, started cashing out at that point. One of them put another 4,000 square feet on his house without spending a dime of his regular everyday money, right? He's cashed out his Bitcoin. The
Yeah.
other one currently lives on a yacht and is traveling wherever he wants to live. And
Wow.
so my husband didn't think it was such a bad idea, but then the price of Bitcoin dropped and Bitcoin stayed around $4,000 forever. It was trading sideways. And while it was trading sideways and everybody else ran away from it, I really started digging and learning and trying to really figure out how to just really um, create businesses and value for the community. And that's what I'm doing today.
Amazing. I can completely relate to your story about how, some people don't jump on the bandwagon, as excited as you are. For myself personally, when I first started investing in cryptocurrency, I was telling my dad about it, who's 78 years old, and he's like, cash out. And I'm like, no. And then I didn't cash out. And thankfully I didn't listen to them because, Najah, we have diamond hands, right? So,
Yeah.
but now, even after all this momentum that's been happening, now he's a believer in it. So it takes time for people to go through the cycles, right, of the volatility and really still understand, hey, it's still going to be here. It's still going to be, it adds value. It's disrupting the industry and it's creating so much opportunity. So it's so good to hear your story about that. You are a visionary. You inspire so many women, so many diverse people, so many communities of all ages. And so can you talk to us about the importance, when I went to go see your speech at the Lear Theater, you were dropping some statistics that were just jaw-dropping. And I think it's really important for people to know about these stats, no matter what your background is. Can you go ahead and share some of those stats with us?
The fact of the matter is most women are the decision makers as it relates to finances in their household, period. Whether the men like to say that they're the ones that do it or not, most of the time it is definitely the women. In fact, it says that women control the nation's finances, not just their household, but the nation's finances. Women hold, unfortunately, 71% of their assets in cash, which is not a good thing. And what that means is we're not investing to build wealth because we're holding on to that cash. But also, on average, we as women, 2/3 of us, we retire with less money than the men do. And so when we're looking for our retirement and our retirement funds and how we're going to continue to help and assist our children, money in retirement ages for women is not what it is for men. And so we've got to work and making that a change in that area. And also, women are 80% more likely to be impoverished during retirement. And that's really scary. And then on top of that statistic, Black women fall less on the totem pole than even that number. So we've got to really make sure that we're having these talks with women on a regular basis.
Want to learn more? Visit cryptotutors.com.